Bikini, this cheeky little cat. I wanted to film. I set my chair up, and now she's like, oh, this is a great place to lay. Ooh, Bikini. Hi, we have coffee. So good. Okay, so today I just want to do pretty much a quick review of the week 1 of the 90-day Accelerator Mastermind that I signed up for. And now I am going to do a up-to-date of where I'm at in week 2. And it is currently Thursday, the 10th of August. So we are 10 days now into the 90 days. And let me tell you, already, I can't believe it, in 10 days, just everything can always change and be so. Everything can always change in 10 days. So yeah, week 1 was a lot for me. And if that's like set the tone of how this 90 days is going to be, then yes, I was already prepared that it was going to be challenging, let's just say. So in week 1, I actually have some notes. So yeah, there were certain tasks that we had to get done, and I got all my tasks done. However, a few of them were a bit late last minute. I did have to get very creative and resourceful with getting some of them done. However, done is better than perfect. Now, what was really interesting for me during week 1 was that 2 of the days we had giant swell. And I'm talking like 10 to 12 foot waves. And on the second day, which was the Saturday, I got the biggest wave of my life surfing out at Bali. And for me, what goes into preparation for these big swell days is a lot. It's not only like physically, you have to be, strong and fit out there, but also mentally, you really need to be on point. On top of that, I was, of course, because they're really big conditions and I didn't get as much work done. So I did though, however, I had to get work done. I know that it's a priority for me to be focused on building my business right now. And as I had mentioned before in week's 1 video, I have very specific goals. So I worked until 1 a.m. However, today is the first day that I have not felt mind fog and cramps and just like really tired in my body. I did wake up tired. However, the Thursday night, the first day before, the night before the first big swell, I finished eating dinner at a restaurant that I always eat at, which is Alchemy. And I was really full, I'd eaten like salad and bread and potatoes and chocolate, all the things that I always eat because I always eat at that restaurant. However, I came home and I felt so full and my food wasn't digesting. I woke up that night around probably 2 a.m. and thought I was going to vomit. I went to the toilet, didn't vomit, was so nauseous. My stomach, I had a headache. I didn't have a fever or anything, but I definitely didn't feel good. So then the next morning, I could not have any food. I kind of had like a diarrhea, and then was like, great, I'm gonna go out into 8 to 10 foot waves. That day was maybe more 8 to 10 foot waves, and I haven't had any food. I had coffee, however, I could not bring myself to eat. Now, if you've been following me for a while, either here on this channel or through my other social media accounts, you'll know that I love food. I'm a vegan, I eat all vegan foods, and I eat a lot of foods. I've always had a big appetite and I always eat a lot because of surfing. However, that morning I was like, I cannot eat anything. Anyway, I ended up getting 1 wave on that day and wiped out hard, held down a little bit. Yeah, it was a little bit hectic. Anyway, yeah, then that night I had like a small dinner. I couldn't still, even after surfing, I was hungry, but I also still felt really off. The next day I went to go surf, then the biggest swell of the year, the biggest waves that I've been out at Bali, at Uluwatu. And again, I'd had 1 meal in 24 hours, and again, I went out. However, what was really interesting is that my mindset was so on point and aware of what I needed to focus on that day for the waves. So basically, yes, I ended up I've had Bali belly ever since. Just today is the first day. I ended up I didn't eat, and then on Sunday night I even went out to eat, and yeah, I ate a lot, and then my food didn't digest. Come Monday afternoon as well, I ate a big meal. I didn't surf, I caught up on work, and still I was off. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because, again, if you've been following me, and what you can take away from this is that it's all the basic things, all the simple things that we know how to feel good, right? It's have enough sleep, be properly hydrated. I only drink Kangen water 9.5 and eat well. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like a certain way, whatever your food preference is, because I definitely am a vegan. However, I can always eat a lot cleaner than sometimes I do. I love to go, and because I haven't been cooking at home, I love to go out and eat at the restaurants and eat all the food that I like. However, what I realized is that when we keep actually our vessel very clean, and like we do other practices like meditation, other sort of healthy spiritual practices, and then we eat well and we sleep well, you can feel so good. So I actually really wanted to do like a review of week 1. I was planning to actually film this on Monday, but Monday I was feeling so bad. So that's why it's already Thursday and I'm doing kind of like a midweek catch up here. So what's really interesting as well is I also, not only did we have the big swell and I was tired from the big swell, I also had my sunburned eyeballs because I was out those 2 days, and each day I was probably out in the water for about 4 days. My eyeballs got sunburned, and that makes it very difficult to look at the screens. However, I still showed up to do what I needed to do. And I think that's always what I like to share, is that I really love what I'm doing with my career, with my business right now, with my brand right now, and everything that I'm building in the digital space, because I get to work my schedule around what commitments I have in my day. And my biggest commitment right now in my life, I am single. Thankfully I'm single. But the biggest thing that takes up the other time of my life is surfing, which is really my passion. However, I always say this, I get to design my days around the changing tides. And it's wonderful because some days, on Monday, I took the day off from work and I was on my screens for many, many hours and I got what I needed to get done. And I actually have the same energy and adrenaline and excitement for building my business and doing all the things that I need to do for my business. The same way, but in obviously a different dynamic that I have with surfing. And it's interesting, I've mentioned this before, that I've got the same timeline of pretty much starting my business as well as learning to surf. It's kind of interesting that business and creating wealth and working in the online space, as well as my surfing journey, they came later on for me in life, which I just thought that was kind of interesting because everything comes at the time that it needs to. On top of that, I also was dealing with being very stressed out about a situation. I've actually hired some help for outsourcing certain things for my business. Every day, every week, we always try to, as an entrepreneur and with the business that I'm running, there are certain things that I like to get done on a daily basis. Of course, we have like bigger things that we may be working on. Like I'm working also right now on creating another webinar that I'm presenting and hosting myself. However, I had hired an agency and paid the agency to outsource some help. However, it was a nightmare last week dealing with my virtual assistants, and so that was like a whole thing because, and that's, I guess, what my intention for this week has been, is like, because I have so many things to do, right? Like there's so many things to do for the business. How can I make it more easeful? How can I make it more simple? How can I actually accomplish more but do less? So that's the reason why I had hired the outsourcing agency. So I'm still figuring that out. I will get back to you on how that's going. However, week 1 was good. I got the tasks done and I was very active with what I needed to get done in my business. And even though I was tired and my eyeballs and bali belly and some other stresses and challenges, I still am in this really good energy and vibration that I feel good in my life. And that's the thing. I'm so grateful that I've done the inner work this year and I continue to, so that when shit hits the fan, I really do have the tools and the awareness now of what do I need to do for myself to shift the energy? And that's for you if you're watching as well. If you are overwhelmed with something, whether it's you're at work or whether it's something maybe in your life somewhere, your friendships, your relationships, somewhere in your day that you're just getting flustered and overwhelmed, don't push it. Just take a break, step back, if you need to like go to sleep early, if you need to like do something like an activity or do something that that is aligned for you, that's going to just shift the energy and get you back into that good feeling state. Because definitely by allowing myself to have some rest, and for me, it's been like cleaning up my diet. Not that I'm on a diet, but now I'm focused for the rest of this week to eat at home, just to eat really simply, cook at home. I made an amazing khichdi yesterday. Is just to do what you need to do so that you can come back into alignment, so that you can come back into balance, so that you can create that clarity again. Also, I was really busy with focusing on, so I have this manifestation mentor and her name is Alex Tripod, and I actually did one of her 21-day manifesting challenges in February, and there's a course in my training that's offered through the platform that I'm a part of, the Academy, and it's got some manifestation tools. And so I've been listening to some of her, she calls them vibe boosters. I've been doing one as a meditation. I also have my own like magical script. Like I talk about that a lot as well, that not only do I do like my spiritual practices of yoga, meditation, and you may already be aware of like gratitude and affirmations, and then obviously like I have other things that I plug into for personal development. However, I'm really focused on the law of attraction and manifestation, because I truly do believe that if we can really learn to shift the frequency, our vibration, our energetics, it really allows us to come into a place that then that's where, if you're feeling grounded and abundant and in flow and clear and happy and vibrant, this is the place actually that you get to show up from, and then be able to receive and be able to allow what the universe wants to deliver, and whatever that's for, calling in wealth or business success, professional success, calling in ideal partner, right? Like if you're blocked and contracted and your energy and your vibration is like off, it's so important to be able to be in a place of working on your energetics, learn manifestation techniques, get into the law of attraction, really start to sit into the energy of the reality that you wish to have in the future. And you start to feel that now, even if like I think of like, okay, I don't yet have what I'm desiring, but if I can still be in this place of like, I feel worthy, I do feel confident, I feel empowered. I've spoken about that a lot before. So that's something that I still have been sitting in, even though I was like tired and belly and everything. So I just wanted to mention that, because if you have been following my channel, or if you follow some of my, my Instagram or Facebook, it's something, or my TikTok, it's something that I talk about a lot, is like your vibration, your energetics, because it really does make a difference, I truly believe. And I've experienced that myself as well, with my own success and tangible results and outcomes which have unfolded for myself this year. So part of our training that we had on our call for Tuesday, so they've definitely amped up the amount of tasks that we have to do. And not only am I doing this 90-day container, this mastermind, and there's certain tasks that we have to do, but that's on top of like what already like, we're doing for the business. And as well, one of my intentions is to grow my YouTube channel. Now, here's another thing. I wanted to follow, and I'm still planning to do this, but the 90 days and everything just took over. I am still planning to do the 12-week year. I just need to get clear with like structuring everything. I've just been going on like a loose schedule every day of getting done what I need to get done, but I really do want to structure out what I want to do for the long term, in the longer term. And part of that is obviously like this YouTube channel. I still haven't been consistent. You're going to be seeing these videos as I upload them and I have the time to upload them. However, I guess moving forward for week 2 is really being able to, I think, keep things more simple and like almost slow my life down. And for me as well, like I'm grateful that I'm actually going to be spending a little bit more time at home and eating at home, because that's always a thing, going out and then ordering out and everything, even though I'm always working when I'm out. However, I'm just trying to simplify things by just staying home a little bit. Who knows, maybe tomorrow I'll be back in a cafe. Probably not though, because I really do want to take care of my digestion. And it's true, going back on that, your gut health they say is so key because they say your second brain is your stomach. And so if that's feeling off, this is feeling off. And I definitely was overwhelmed at the beginning of the week. So I was again thinking, always coming back to, how can I make this more simple? How can I make this more easeful? Not necessarily like easy, but easeful and simple. And how can I do less but create more? And I've spoken about this on other channels, on other videos as well. I really started to get a lot more clear with the audience that I'm calling in. And we've had some training with ChatGPT. Have you had any experience with ChatGPT or any other AI tools? And I think it's really wonderful because it was asking me some questions around really gaining clarity around my branding, around my audience. And if you're watching this, likely you either surf, you're a female and you are an active person, you're healthy, you'd love to travel, you have a certain lifestyle that you would like to afford, you're curious about working in the online space, maybe you already have, maybe you're already an entrepreneur working in the online space. So I guess for me, like, I'm getting really clear to like who's really like watching me. I know I have a lot of people all over the world, and when it comes to like my audience, I've always been somebody that wishes to empower people. And I've gotten really clear that I'm so focused on empowering and guiding women to really achieve the possible when most perceive it as impossible. Because I truly believe like it's a matter of time when you want to achieve something, but it's about having that belief and courage to really do everything you can to make those dreams come true, to create an extraordinary life. And I truly believe that you can. Yes, it takes time. Anything takes time. Nothing that happens overnight. If you get that, that's amazing. But usually like things take time. And if you do create success quickly overnight, it's usually unsustainable. Like time and money is actually earned once you invest it. And I've really seen that when it comes to my personal development, when it comes to my business, when it comes to even like surfing. And so I guess that like who I'm really calling in to be a part of my community and who's watching my videos, who's, wanting to join my business is like women who wish to travel the world surfing, who wish to be able to do the things that they love in their day and still be able to create a thriving income online and be able to show others how to do it. I mean, that's really who I'm calling in. And I guess I'm thinking about like the woman who I'm calling in to work with me is really somebody that like doesn't take no for an answer. That is like solutions focused. That's like, okay, I want to be able to achieve this. So what do I need to do to be able to do that? And I think it's amazing because entrepreneurship has really allowed me to think bigger and to really allow me to be in this like solutions focused mindset, a growth focused mindset, an even more open-minded mindset. Because I think that I've done so much personal work, and maybe you also have done personal work, and I encourage you to do your own personal growth work, because when you can really start to shift into the place of getting clear with like, okay, these are my dreams. This is what I want to achieve. And that can be any area of life, your relationships, your business, your wealth, your friendships, for travel, your health, your creative pursuits. Once you get like clear and wild and imaginative about what your vision is, then it's like you truly can create that. Yes, it takes time. Yes, maybe you'll need support. Yes, maybe you'll need to learn a few new skills and learn some things. Yes, maybe it means saying no to some people or some situations, or even saying no to things that you say in your own mindset. But I think that it's really powerful that, and I quoted this, there's a big wave surfer in Hawaii and her name is Keala Kennelly. And she quoted, "You never know what you're capable of until you challenge yourself." And it brings tingles to my skin that what I'm focused on creating for my long-term vision with my business, when I look really like 3 to 5 to 10 years in advance and beyond, I see just a wildly thriving, successful business online with a huge team, creating multiple 7 and 8 figures, and really being able to impact others to do the same, so that ultimately, we're living just epic, extraordinary lives. And that's possible. Like, that's really possible. And yeah, when I think about that, and I think about what I've been able to achieve in surfing, when I think, I had some guys saying, wow, that's amazing. You've been surfing 3.5 years and you're out here at Bommy. The Uluwatu, that certain spot Bommy, that's a really intense, solid, big wave spot. And a lot of people don't go out there. And, surfers from Hawaii come, and big wave surfers from Brazil come and surf there. And it's intense. And I had some hectic, intense moments out there. However, I was training and I was practicing and being out there and learning to read that wave. And then I got the biggest wave of my life. Huge wave. And what did that cost me? My time. It's also cost me some money, because I've had to invest in like safety gear, impact vest. I ended up buying it was a secondhand big wave surfboard. Like, I've also had to invest my commitment, my time, my energy and money to really strive for success that I'm so passionate about, and that really lights me up. And it's the same thing with business, and it's the same thing with content creation. I'm somebody that loves to document. I'm somebody that loves videography and photography and editing and everything to do with content creation, everything to do with like building my business, right? Like, I've had to invest time, money, and energy and my passion, because it's actually what truly lights me up. I love to challenge myself. I love to have fun with doing something. And also, like, I want to share this with the world. Like, who doesn't want to be able to work online, create content so that they're able to create a thriving income to support the lifestyle of surf and travel and a healthy lifestyle, right? Like, who doesn't want that? Okay, so let's bring this back around. Week 2, we have certain things that we need to get done, which is awesome, which I'm doing. We're also having to come up and create like a massive content calendar for the next 90 days. So I've got that, and actually I need to sit down and structure better for my channel, for my YouTube channel as well, like a content calendar, which it can kind of be like similar, but my YouTube channel has been a little bit more relaxed. It's not necessarily just like business information here. It's definitely, I've been a lot more personal over the years with my YouTube channel, which you're lucky enough to get. I guess my intentions moving forward now in this week 2 is, of course, like getting what I need to get done daily, like having the time, having the mental clarity, which I finally have, to like sit down and like get what I need to get done. I've also, like, one night I almost missed like one of my very good friends' dinner. I had said to myself, look, first of all, I need to get into like my workflow and all my business related tasks and all my, I call them income producing activities. And then I'll check all my social DMs later. However, I checked one of my friend's DMs and I was like, oh no, I've almost missed a birthday dinner. Anyway, in the end, she canceled and she's gonna do it again. However, I have really had to learn what to prioritize and learn to say no. I've a lot of my friends and family all know that I'm doing this 90 days and I'm in like time blocks and I'm very focused, like definitely not going to be as social as I am. Definitely always once a week. I will have my girls' dinners. I think for probably almost 3 months now, it's been pretty much once a week, at least once a week, that I have been organizing, or we've gotten together different groups of girls, or one sort of group of girls here. And I've been really grateful for my female friendships. I'm grateful for all my friendships around the world and my business friendships and some of my besties around the world. However, I really am about creating community. Community is support, and I'm focused right now on building my community here when it comes to being online, my online community. However, I went through a breakup now about more than 3 months ago, maybe even 4 months ago, and I didn't always like directly address that on at least my Instagram, Facebook, or even so much here on my YouTube channel. I've spoken about it in different ways. However, I have gone through a really intense time in the relationship that I was in previously, a very extremely, like the most unhealthy, toxic relationship that I've ever been in my adult life. And I closed that chapter and I've moved on. However, I see this person every day surfing. He is a surfer. And, sometimes when you go through breakups, it's like, okay, it's over. And then you like never see them again. I also blocked him I had to block him on all, ways to contact, social media, WhatsApp, and all of that. And it's been a real practice for me being in the water every single day and having him sometimes like a few meters, like feet away from me. And yeah, it's every relationship that I've had is different and they've all ended differently, right? And we all have relationships and we've all had relationships that have ended and we've all been through heartbreak, and either we've had our heart broken or we've broken somebody else's heart. However, it's really added another level of dynamic and energy for me when I'm out surfing. And then on top of that, when I'm out surfing 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 foot waves. Again, like I said, I've had to, and this is what I encourage you, is to, first of all, have the support around you and do the inner work. And I'm grateful for my female friendships here in Bali. I've also had some interesting things happen with a female friend that I had that we're not friends anymore. I also had to block her on social media. That's a whole other thing I could talk about. Using social media in an intentional way. I've spoken about this on my other channels. However, yeah, I'm so grateful for my female friendships because I think at the beginning of February, or halfway through February, I did break up and I ended the relationship that I used to be in. We got back together, but then I ended it again. And I remember feeling really lonely. And I remember feeling that actually there's a lot of people out there that actually do love and care about you. And sometimes you can't just like sit at home, right? And expect that like all the success and the love and the friends will just like come knocking on your door. Like if you want something, you have to go out and get it, right? You have to go out and go for your dreams, strive for your dreams in an intentional and aligned way. And I really was so focused on creating around me women friendships that I truly feel seen and heard and understood, and also that I'm able to hold that space for my friends. And so I've created some really beautiful friendships here for myself in Bali, and I'm grateful because I think friendships are so important. My mother told me many, many years ago, she was like, Tiffany, the men, they're going to come and go, but it's so important to keep your besties, your girls around. You're always going to need to go for coffee. You're always going to need to go shopping. You're always going to, need that girl's shoulder to cry on. And at times this year I have been an absolute mess, like emotional breakdown, panic attack. And I've had friends who really held space for me, and I've been able to do the same. And it's important because as well, for me, I'm traveling. I've been living out of Australia for many, many years. And so friendships to me have become family. So I'm grateful of my friendships here. So go, and if after this, go and like have a coffee with your bestie, because you're always going to need to laugh and cry with your besties, Okay, so this has turned into like a really, really long talking head, just giving your life update. I do hope that you have found some value and you've loved what I have shared, and thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, leave me a comment, all of that. And I will give you the update of next week, and hopefully I can film another vlog for you this week. See you next time.